Hey everyone, it's Ashley Cunningham here, and I am really excited to be channeling for you guys tonight. It was really interesting. I'll tell you guys a little story while I wait for people to join me. I was channeling to see, okay, who's the next set of people that want to step forward and be channeled by me in my group for the month of January. And Saint Germain was like on it. He was right there. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I love Saint Germain. I love channeling him, and I love his work. And he was always to me really represents releasing a lot of energy, and he works with that violet flame. So I always connect the two. And oh, good, people are joining. Hey, thank you guys for coming. It's good to see you guys here. Thank you. So I was saying that I always associate Saint Germain with the violet flame, and he stepped forward and he said he wanted to chat about transmuting low vibrational energy, releasing, doing that kind of work. And I was thinking to myself, well, man, I've kind of channeled that from him before, but I'll go with it. Let's do it. I can always, get some more inspiration from him, and we can channel and see if there's cool questions. And it really ended up being, I feel like, the perfect time for us to have this conversation with Saint Germain, just because of everything that's going on in the world, specifically in the United States. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening. It doesn't matter which side you're on. It's just very chaotic. And yeah, I think it's a time that we have a good reminder or a refresher conversation with Saint Germain just about our energy. And so that's what I hope he's going to share some information about. I don't know exactly what he's going to say, but if you guys have questions about anything in particular that you would like to get some guidance on from Saint Germain, please post them in the comments, and I will be pulling questions after he shares his message. And yeah, we'll just get this going. Thank you guys. I see several more people have joined. Thank you all so much. It's really great to see you all. Hey Liz, hey Joanne, Nina. Hello. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm just going to call him in now. He's been kind of hanging out, but I am now feeling his energy get much more expansive, and he's standing right behind me and just kind of whoosh, opening up. So the whole backside of my body, my head, my neck, my upper back, my mid back is all heating up, and I'm getting the tingles. If you guys who are on here also channel or connect with spirit and you get the goosebumps, that's a surefire way to know that spirit is coming in. And this is just goosebumps, like out of the blue, no reason to have them type of goosebumps. So I'm feeling some of that sensation on the back of my head. And I'm also feeling him now pulling into my heart chakra, my throat chakra. And that just, to me, feels like there's just more energy on my heart chakra and my throat chakra, kind of in the front part of my body now, and I'm heating up. So if I get red, I feel like I'm already getting pretty red. That's what's going on. And that's often, a sign that you're pulling in a lot of energy, and your body is experiencing energy that is a really high vibrational frequency. And that's a physical reaction of channeling. Whew, okay, so taking a deep breath. And I'm just feeling so good right now. And he now is showing me an image of him in my mind. And he's just got a big smile on his face. And he's just really happy to be here. He's saying, yes, thank you all for allowing me to speak to you through this, dear one. thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules, out of your day, your evening. Some of you I know are here and it's quite late where you're at. He's just kind of showing me like a clock is spinning around. Like there's people who will see this and it's just at all times of day. And he's just making me feel like really grateful. And he's saying, yes, I am very grateful to reach each of you. This is a time when, okay, he's sending me a lot kind of all at once. So I'm going to ask him to slow down a little bit. And he's saying this is a time where there is a lot of energetics, a lot of movement, a lot of shifting and changing, a lot of emotional frequencies are spiking for within each of us, within people, within the collective. And that is okay. First and foremost, it's okay to have a reaction. It's okay to see and feel kind of whipped up with the energy and as it changes. That is a part of our human experience, is having kind of these initial reactions. Ultimately, once we have recognized something's going on, either within us or externally, that is when our free will choice comes into play. And that is when everyone on the other side of the veil, all of spirit, is cheering each of us on to move forward through that energy, through that maybe the emotional spikes, the stress, the worry, move through anything that is of a lower vibrational frequency and make those choices to hand off the frequencies in which don't align with your highest good, your highest self, your maybe you're not feeling like you're in that place at this time, but that ultimately the vision of what you want your life to be like, if it's not in alignment, that's okay. You're human. We need to take time to take a beat, step back, assess what's going on. And then we make choices and we hand off the low vibrational frequency. And he's saying this action of handing off, this action of recognizing what will serve us and what will not, is ultimately up to us. We get the choice to, oh, this is so interesting. He's showing me putting, like, I have boots on, like rubber boots, rain boots, and he's showing me putting pebbles in my rain boots as kind of a representation of carrying around uncomfortable kind of baggage that we don't necessarily need to be carrying around with us at all times. There is, we have things that we need to work through and we need to learn from, and that's appropriate. But sometimes we make choices to hold on to things a lot longer than we really need to. And the trick is to get comfortable recognizing what those things are and ready to hand it off. And so he's showing this image of me with my rain boots on, and I'm putting pebbles in my boots, and I'm kind of hoarding all of these pebbles. And now he's showing me take off the pebble and just kind of like dumping the rain boot over, and all these rocks coming out, and they're just kind of disappearing. They're not really there. And he's circling back now and kind of adding to that image. He's saying, when we make choices to hold on to like the chaos, or sometimes it doesn't have to be any specific situation, but if you're feeling something like you have an emotional spike, or there's some stressors, or there's a lot of, take your pick, there's a lot of things going on collectively right now that you can really cling to. But ultimately, stepping back and learning, recognizing how are you right now in this moment going to benefit from holding on to that rock in your rain boot. And you can, continue to revisit and learn and grow. And that's part of, just being really emotionally I'm not going to say emotionally intelligent. He's kind of making me feel like emotionally just aware of your emotions, your mental state, your energy. This isn't just about connecting with energy and connecting with spirit. It's about our health overall as well. And how do we maintain that? And there are so many things that we can do just in that path alone. And he's saying he will speak on some of those options in a minute. But as we move forward on our path, and we're in this point, we're in a situation at any point where we're noticing we're uncomfortable for whatever reason, this is an opportunity for us to hand it over to work with spirit and ask for help. And he ultimately wants us to do that. And he's saying every single time you feel like you need to, there is no time of day that's better for them or better for you. There's no deep ceremony that you have to perform. There is no, he's showing kind of like lighting candles and bubble baths, and all of this stuff is helpful, but ultimately just the fact of you recognizing within yourself that you're ready to hand over this energy or this worry or this fear or this stress, or whatever the case may be, maybe something else. Ultimately, you get to choose. You recognize it, you hand it over, or you ask for help, and they're there like that. And it can be whenever you need to in the moment. It doesn't have to be, oh, I got to ask for that later when I'm in my bath, later when I'm grounding, later when I'm ready to journal for an hour, or I need to make sure I meditate on this. It's in the moment. It's in the flow of your life. And Saint Germain is just really underscoring in the flow of your life. He doesn't want you. Let me step back here. He's saying, I don't want you to feel any sort of separation from spirit, any sort of separation from himself or from any spiritual being that you connect with, be that Jesus, your guardian angels, your starseed family, any being, archangels, source, him or herself, any being that you connect with. There is no separation. There is no time delay. There is no opportunity that's better than now. We only have this one moment, and he's making me feel very urgent about that. Yeah, and he's kind of pointing to a lot of things now. He's giving me a lot of pictures. So what he's showing me now is lighting some candles kind of ceremoniously, creating a really beautiful bubble bath space or Epsom salt bath, stretching, doing a meditation, eating a big salad with maybe some root accents, drinking some really good tea, going on a walk, going and leaning against a tree. These are all activities, and he's showing me doing all of these things. He is showing this because these are intentional action steps that you can take through scheduling them out into your day, through making the time in the evening or in the morning or whenever you have the time available to do any of these activities. He's encouraging you to step forward and make those choices, whatever feels good to you. So he is highlighting, last night I was a little stressed watching the news. I tend to not watch the news very much, but I just tuned in, and there was a whole bunch of stuff going on, and I was just like, wow, this is a lot right now. And so I definitely needed my tea. I needed something to do with my hands while I kind of kept my mind as still as possible. I made some, I don't know if you guys know about this, but I used to do a lot of junk journaling, and I used to make these coffee stained papers. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make some coffee stained papers. It antiques the paper. It could be like printer paper or fancier paper. I just have regular old printer paper, and I coffee stain them and dried them in my oven. And I love the sound. They make like this crisp crinkly old paper sound. And I decided I was going to make some coffee stain paper, drink my tea, and I was going to do some journaling. And I did that. Even though I was still kind of trying to work through all of those things, they really helped to kind of create a space of stillness, to create a space of allowing. So I'm asking him now if he wants to speak on that, because that really kind of just came out of me kind of reflecting on my situation that he was pointing me to. But he's saying, yes, creating a space of allowance within yourself gives you the opportunity to, he's saying, run the gamut. It gives you the space, the allowance to feel what you need to feel, and then make choices upon those feelings and upon your intentions. Making space is really important to allow yourself to process, allow yourself to recognize what you're feeling. And he's saying, allow yourself to make decisions to move forward in whatever way you need to. When we don't make the space for us to kind of reflect, and this can be instantaneous. This doesn't have to take a 20-minute meditation to make this happen. You know what you're feeling, and just feeling it in your body, recognizing, wow, I'm stressed right now. I need to step back, or I need to go on a walk, or I need to ground. I need to do something because I'm feeling it in my body. Connecting your mental, emotional state with your physical state and being really hyper aware of what's going on allows you to use that information to make decisions. And he's showing, this is kind of funny, he's showing me like, we're getting all this data kind of, there's a meme of, I don't know her name, but she's like looking around and there's all this data flying at her. And we get an opportunity to look at that data, to feel our emotions, to feel the information that's in our body, and create the space to allow ourselves to feel that and then do something with it. And that's where he's saying creativity. He's circling, highlighting, underscoring that word. Creativity is super important because it allows you to express whatever it is that you need to express in a multitude of ways, by drawing a picture, by writing it out, by maybe doing some creative artwork that has nothing to do with it, but you're just in the flow and you're connected, and that in and of itself is healing. And can transmute energies that maybe you're holding on to this emotion or this frequency, and it allows you to release. Because when we create, he's really saying and highlighting this, like, listen to this is basically what he's making me feel. But he's saying when we create, we are not just ourselves, in that we are connected to source and the spiritual energy, and it's flowing through us. It's flooding us with love and light and expression, and allowing us to bring in our full selves into that space. And it doesn't have to be a pretty painting or picture. It can look or be whatever you want it to be. Sculpting a tree house, a fort in your living room with pillows and blankets. It can be whatever it is you want it to be. But when you're in that flow, you're able to really connect and replace those frequencies that maybe don't resonate with where you want to be as you move forward. You're making a choice to not stay in that state of, maybe that state of chaos or state of shock or grief or anger, or struggling with multitudes of emotional frequencies. But as you want to move forward, that can really help. So creativity is awesome. Asking your team, asking any spiritual being to help transmute the frequencies, the energies that is kind of tying you to the situation. When you ask for your angels or maybe Saint Germain or Archangel Michael to cut those ties, to transmute that energy for you. They're not taking away the lesson. They're not taking away your connection to the situation. They're taking away the energy that's kind of underlying all of that, the fear, the worry, the stress, and all of that energy that is connecting you to that in a negative way. So he's giving me another example of, he's kind of showing me in a multitude of various situations. I can get very stressed or very fear-based, and he's showing me asking for my angels, my guardian angels, Pedadiah and Samuel, to step in and transmute that energy. And while I'm still engaging with that situation, that flow or kind of that siphoning of the energy is stopped, and that energy is then transmuted or turned into golden light energy, source energy. It's just kind of given back to the light. And now he's showing me interacting with whatever situation that was really stressful for me in a way that is not kind of draining me. So yeah, it's really fascinating to watch, to get images of yourself, and they're showing the energetic changes in my own situation. So if you wish to see this for yourself, ask Saint Germain to come in and help you identify a situation in your life that he can help you with, or he has helped you with, or maybe your angels have helped you with in helping to transmute that energy of the situation. So ask, and it may not come in the form of his voice or an image. You may just immediately get a memory of a situation, and that's going to be part of your channeling communication with Saint Germain. He's saying he wants me to speak in a way that all of you are channeling with him, because he is working pretty directly with everyone who is here or interested in asking questions, but also anyone who's going to be watching this later on. All you have to do is ask for him to be there, and he's there, and he's working with you. And he just wants you guys to be really comfortable and know that all of us can channel. It's not just, a few of us who are skilled in this. Everyone can do this. And he's just really highlighting that there is no separation, again, from us who are humans here on Earth and the spiritual world, all the spiritual beings on the other side of the veil. Cool. Well, I really appreciate that from Saint Germain, and I'm just saying thank you to him in my mind as well for coming forward. And I'm asking him now, is there anything else that he wants to share? He's saying he can go on about more ways to transmute, and he's bringing up the violet flame. That's one that, if you guys aren't familiar with Saint Germain and who he is an ascended master, and he's really amazing. And he does a lot of different things, but he works with the violet flame, which is literally this flame that's purple, violet color. And Lisa literally just asked, can you ask him more about using the violet flame? That's awesome. It's purple flame, and you can call this flame in. This is an energetic force. You can call this flame in, and you can say Saint Germain and the violet flame, or just I call it on the violet flame. And you can request the violet flame to come in, and it shows up in the form of a fire. That's how I generally see it. And it can be external. You can see it externally or connect with it externally, or you can ask for it to be internal and set you on fire, kind of energetically. And basically what it does is just kind of burns away, and it transmutes anything and everything that you wish to let go of that is not of your highest good. It exchanges that energy into a higher vibrational frequency of love and light energy. And it's like feeding fire. You can just literally interact with it in a visualization type style of, actually, you can even do this in a physical form. He's showing people writing down on a little, maybe a strip of paper, or you just want to cut some paper up or rip some paper really quick and just write down maybe something that you want to release, or something that's stressing you out, or a situation that makes you really anxious or nervous or angry, whatever the case may be. Write it down. You can roll it up like a little scroll. You can just kind of fold it up, and you can either burn it safely. Safely is the key word. In a safe manner. Maybe you guys have a fireplace. That would be the best place to burn it. But you can physically burn that if you wish. Or it can just be more energetic. You just fold it up. You're done. You've written it down, and you can just throw it away in the garbage. You don't have to physically burn it. But ultimately, the action of asking the violet flame to come and take care of these situations is allowing spiritual energetic forces to come in and transmute or negate the vibrational frequencies that are impacting you. So they're going to turn that energy into love and light energy, raise the frequency of that situation, raise the frequency of whatever it is. And then that allows for that love and light to kind of backfill and help you out in a situation, and also kind of cut off the cords. You're not being drained by worrying about something or stressing out about something. It could be something small or personal in your life, or bigger things that, you know, a lot of us are watching happen in at least in the US, in our country. So there's a lot of different things that you can do and how you can interact with the violet flame. I honestly, and I think I've channeled this before, I'm asking Saint Germain, he's saying, yeah, just share it anyway, because this is a really great way to do it. And it's a cool personal reminder. I like pairing some of my energetic work with things that I already do throughout the day. So whenever I take a shower, call on the violet flame. You know, whenever you brush your teeth, call on the violet flame. Pick your one activity that you do every single day and call on the violet flame to transmute anything and everything that you don't need to have floating around in your energetic field or holding. He's showing again you don't need those pebbles in your rain boots. They're very uncomfortable to walk on. So call on the flame. If you're sitting there and you know, tying your shoes or putting your shoes on, or you're grabbing your keys, or you're making tea, you're making coffee, you're making food, pick an activity that you do all the time. It's a good kind of refresher, a boost. I do that with a few different styles of energetic work that I really love throughout my day. So I'm always kind of doing a little thing here or there, and it really keeps my frequency up. I've definitely noticed a difference from like a week when I kind of forgot to do things. I was really busy doing like work stuff, and I was kind of in the zone basically, and I just kind of lost track of everything. And then I came back to it. I'm like, whoa, I feel way different. Let's get this back on track. So definitely try that out and see how it feels for you. He's also saying there are other flames that you can call on. He's circling and highlighting for me. I call on the white Ascension flame. Whenever I do a Reiki session or a group Reiki session, I always call on the white Ascension flame to completely transmute all of the locations in which my clients are in, I'm in, and the connections between myself and the clients. So that way our communications, both of our locations are completely fresh, vibrant, supported, and full of love and light. And it really makes a difference. So you can do this with the violet flame or the white Ascension flame. I also use the flame to, what I do is whenever I have to go into the office, I ask my team to go forward and bring the white ascension flame and just basically burn all of the lower vibrational energies, clear them out, transmute them out of my office space before I even step foot on the property. And it's really amazing how big of a difference I've noticed. I worked at my location in my work for over 6 years now. And when I first started my channeling work, I would really see a difference now in the way that I would come into the office and it would just feel energetically. And I've been doing this for a while now, so it's I feel like it's really lightened a lot, the physical space. And I hope it's affecting my coworkers in a positive way as well. But you can do this for your home, for your car, for the Walmart that you always like to go to, or whatever store you like to go to, grocery store, the post office, anywhere. You can do that anywhere and everywhere. And that's, I guess, another example of what Saint Germain was saying earlier. He was saying that, you know, this is in the flow of your life work. This is not work that you have to set aside for a special time or a special moment. This is when you're waiting in line at the post office, or you're at a stoplight and you have a few seconds to ask for some support, or you want to, and he's showing going further, you want to send love and light or send the ascension flame to someone who maybe would benefit from it and be open to it. So you can always do those things. They don't take or drain from your energy. They're really simple, but they help build your kind of your muscle. We talk about in the Mediumship for Beginners course, in the Mediumship 102 course with Kristen Davies, we always talk about building that muscle, and that's really just practice and time and keeping those intentions in the forefront of your mind. And it's just really awesome to be able to have that kind of like that muscle built up. So it just gets easier and easier over time. And it just is something that is seamless with whatever you're doing. It's just a part of who you are. And he's saying, I hope he wants most of you guys to really look at how do you connect with your spirit team. And right now, like, take a moment to kind of reflect on how many times a day do you ask your team to help you? How many times are you asking for specific things or general things? How many times are you doing more energetic work? We all have the ability to do this, and it's not extra skill sets really to ask for these types of support. For this type of support from your team. You can ask for messages, whatever you want really from your team, but the energy elements of it really kind of get you in alignment. They help you to feel where are you at right now, and they help you to feel your way into where do you want to be. And so that's really, really, really crucial, especially if you're interested in channeling or doing Reiki sessions or any healing modality. You're going to need to have a good sense of where you're at in your own physical vessel. And I'm asking him if there's anything else that he wants to share before we get on to questions. I see there's a lot of questions here, but he's sharing so much good information, so I don't want to cut him off. He's just saying, ultimately, if you wish to understand more methods of transmuting energy, more methods of making choices within your experience, call on your team, ask them to show you those methods, or reach out to, he's kind of pointing to me, reach out to me. You can ask me questions. You can post questions in my Channeling with Love group where you guys are at right now. And definitely feel free to just ask, because there's going to be an answer sent your way promptly. He's saying promptly. It'll be there. So, okay. That's awesome. All right. So now I'm seeing questions over here. I'm going to jump into questions. I'm just going to throw that out there. If I do miss your question, feel free to post it again, and I'll try and get back to it. But the first question I see here is, Saint Germain, thank you for sharing this great information with us in regards to clearing our energy fields. What advice do you have for me to stay uplifted and connected? He's saying, set the intention to be uplifted and connected. Hold that intention forward within your mind and in your heart, and reach out to your team to help you in this. You don't always have to be actively connecting with your team, asking questions, but just being in the moment and connecting with your body and connecting with the world around you is a part of that activity as well. And he's saying, remember, you're just going with the flow of life when connecting with spirit. And he's saying you can always call on the fairies to help you get uplifted very quickly. And he's kind of laughing because I did that as well last night. I called on the fairies to have a little dance party in my kitchen while I was making tea and my coffee stain paper. And it was really fun. And I was very uplifted. But this is really, really, he's saying you can make it as lighthearted and as fun as you'd like. You can be as serious as you'd like about being connected, remaining in a higher vibrational frequency, but just going with the flow and feeling it in your body is ultimately going to be your best guide. And once you feel like, ooh, I don't really feel great, or ooh, I feel a pullback, or oh, this is really stressing me out, that's when you know you need to press the pause button and assess what's going on and step back, and then make a choice to focus on something else, or do something that's going to move your body or make you feel better in some way. So definitely try and use a lot of different tools like that you are resonating with. And he's just saying, thank you so much for being here. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Amy is saying, I work with white light, but working with flames is new to me. I'm not sure of the difference. I found you last week and I'm still surfing past videos. Is there a video I can check out or you can briefly explain? Thank you. Oh, well, welcome, Amy. Thanks. I'm so happy you found me. Honestly, there is another Saint Germain video. And it's called Set Yourself on Fire, and it's about the violet flame, and I go into a little bit more detail. I called out some of the examples from that video in this video. He's prompted me to share some of that same information, so you may want to check that out. But yeah, working with white light and working with flames is basically the same principle, essentially. I feel like working with the flames, the energy is a little bit more stronger, a little bit more forceful, a little bit more energetic. I feel like there's more movement, there's more burning, there's more, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit more active than just sending white light or having white light completely fill up my, say, my home or my office space. The Ascension flame, I feel like the difference, and I've used white light before to clear a space, and I use the Ascension flame to clear a space, and I feel like the white light does the trick. It's great, but the Ascension flame just feels more, there's just more movement, and I just feel like there's more action kind of taking place. And I don't really know how else to describe it, but they essentially do the same things. I mean, white healing light can transmute anything. The Ascension flame can transmute. The violet flame can transmute. So it's really just about, I guess, what you're drawn to. And I'm asking Saint Germain on this one. He's just giving me a thumbs up. He's saying, yeah, these are just, they're similar tools that are designed to resonate in different ways for different people. So even within those exercises, we're still achieving the same end goal of maybe clearing a space or clearing our own energetic fields, but using the different tools. It may feel a little different, but we get this to the same place. So that's a great question. I never really thought about the differences between asking for white light or a flame. I definitely use more of the, I call in light in my little empath bubbles, I like to call them. I set a bubble around myself, and I have white light, healing light shining outward from my bubble, so that way energy, as it's coming my way, as people are wanting to vent or interact with me, that kind of gets burned off a little bit before it gets to me, so I can handle it a little better. So I use the white light in that way. Great question, though. Thank you. All right. Another question. My nose has been tingling for a week now. I would love to know why, and if a being is trying to get my attention or give me a message. Yeah, I'm getting for Saint Germain. The way you ask that question, you already kind of have a sense of what's taking place. Often nose tingling represents certain energy of Christ consciousness. I don't know if that's just kind of the way I've interacted with his energy, but I haven't had any other being tickle my nose or make my nose itch like Jesus or Christ consciousness does. So I feel like maybe, and I'm asking him now that I've kind of started talking about him, he's showing up here on my left. And he's just kind of chuckling, and he's confirming for you, Amy, that he has been doing some work on you. There has been a lot of ascension wave energy coming through for everyone, and he's been particularly working for you, or working with you in your energy. And he's just saying to relax as much as you can with the ascension symptoms and kind of the shifts in energy. You may feel more of fatigue or more of a need or a want to kind of step back a little bit more. And he's just encouraging you to follow that instinct and to, yeah, just go with the flow of it, and just don't feel bad for taking time out to relax and just chill, do nothing really, especially if you're experiencing a lot of energy coming in. Cool. Okay. And he's just kind of stepping back now. I think he's going to hang out though. So that's awesome. I always love it when he pops in. All right. Another question here. Please tell us about tuning forks, sound therapy. I am drawn or guided to this modality. Awesome. Saint Germain is just saying, do it. He's showing the Tibetan singing bowls, or there's these big crystal singing bowls, and he's really putting a lot of energy on that. Please check that out. If you feel drawn to that modality, go and get a session with someone and see how it feels in your energy, and ask a lot of questions about how that person got trained, or if you are able to take a training. I guess with the pandemic across the world, it might be more difficult to do that in person, but maybe you can find some training online that would be helpful. But I'm just getting a ton of energy that you need to research it. You need to move forward on this because it's going to be really beneficial. And I'm feeling like there's just kind of waves lapping through my body, like waves of sound. And it's kind of like ripples on a pond. And I'm the pond, and there's these waves just kind of lapping through my entire body and my energetic field. And those waves help to shift and move out energy. And there's different tones to do different things. And I honestly have no idea about any sort of tuning forks or sound therapy, but he's just showing me there's like low pitched tones that really bring about this certain frequency, and higher pitched tones that bring about these higher frequencies. And they work in tandem to do different things within your body. So if you have something that needs to be specifically attended to, say you're really ungrounded, the practitioner might be guided to use certain frequencies that bring in grounding energy into your body. So he's saying, Saint Germain's saying, please check this out, do your research. And he's just like clapping wildly. He really, really wants you to check that out. Awesome question. And I think this is a great way too to transmute and to get ourselves realigned. And music always makes me happy. So I don't think sound therapy would be any different. I've never done sound therapy. So maybe I'll do a little research session sometime if I can find someone in my area that'll let me meet them in person. But awesome question. Thank you. Okay, I would love to know if we should prepare for more governmental upheavals in the upcoming months and what guidance he has for us. Should we continue to be silent observers and light workers, or does he recommend a specific guided action? Thank you. Okay, he's coming in hot on this one. That's a pretty deep question here. He's saying you should be prepared for more energy changes. And he's not saying it's specifically government upheaval or government shifts, although, I mean, we already have some changes slated on the calendar to take place. Depending on how that happens is, really up in the air at this point. It's in the hands of the people who are going to be making some decisions related to the transition of power between the current president and the next president and all of that. But he's showing there's many, many layers to what's taking place here in the US and across the world, around the world, that there are going to be several events, several things that are going to be shifting, and they're going to require that we use our skills in maintaining our frequency and helping others around us maintain their frequency. As light workers, and he's pointing to all of you, you're light workers. If you're drawn to this content, if you're interested in stepping forward, if you just want to connect to get better within, you're a light worker. And whether or not you want to call yourself that, that's also up for free will choice. For a long time, I didn't really resonate with the term light worker specifically. Ooh, and my camera went weird at that. But I've, kind of come to terms with that term itself. But essentially, we need to be maintaining our frequency, using our skills in transmuting our lower vibrational energies, transmuting the fear, using skills to transmute that energy in our public spaces, transmuting energy in our private spaces and homes, in our workspaces, in our cars, in our parks. We can be doing this work, this energy work, and that's not sitting by and being silent observers. That's stepping forward and taking action. So if you feel called to do that work, maybe you're not in a public forum, maybe you're not filming it for YouTube or in a group, or you're not working with clients, but maybe you feel still called to do some energy work, to step forward and do that. You can do that all on your own. You can go to a park or go to a place, or even just send energy to a place that you want to send energy to. And you can send love and light. You can ask for that situation to be supported as best as possible by spirit, and for the highest good of not only each of us, but for our collective consciousness as well. There's a lot of things that we can do. And so he's not recommending that we be silent observers and light workers. You can get your hands dirty energetically. You can work on yourself. You can step forward and share your opinions and support others and bolster others in other ways. So he's encouraging you to be as active as you are called to be active, if that's something that resonates with you. And I also, I'm encouraging anyone and everyone who wants to You know, share with friends and family a trick or a tip on how to kind of bring yourself back to center. I think one of the best things that we can teach someone who maybe isn't interested in channeling and all the new agey stuff is how to ground. Being grounded and being really stable in our energy helps everyone around us, but also helps us within ourselves move forward and be really in alignment with what we're doing in our life and what we're doing in this experience here on earth at this time, because it's pretty cray and we can get really ungrounded really fast because there's just so much energy coming in and out, and you just being grounded would be like the number one thing I think I would personally recommend anyone and everyone to do and to focus on. And then everything else, you know, if you're called to do sound therapy or Reiki, or getting Reiki on yourself, or helping, you know, your friend publish a magazine. I don't know, just some examples of things that you can do to help others and to help those around you. So feel free to just check in with what resonates with you and go for it. Saint Germain is like big thumbs up, circling, highlighting, really, he's showing me fireworks now. He really wants you guys to feel empowered to move forward in a way that resonates with you in your life and in your public life. And yeah, that's really important. And transmuting, the whole, you know, kind of focus of what he's saying is ultimately like a superpower. Because if you can transmute energy and still be in it and still move forward and make choices that are keeping you moving forward along your path, you're not getting mired down in the low vibrational frequencies of maybe a certain situation, like the government upheavals of yesterday. You're not getting mired down in it. You can be more alert and aware of what's going on and be more proactive in a really positive way. He's showing me an oxygen mask. You know, the airplane kind of recommendation. You put your oxygen mask on first, and then you help the children or the elderly person or the person next to you. You help them get their mask on after you've gotten your mask on. So that's really the crux of what he's getting at. So that's pretty awesome. Sanyukta is saying, I have started offering people healing. Can I call upon him to assist with that? I use a healing chamber where I call my angels and team. Whoo, yeah, of course. That's beautiful. That's really awesome. And he is there. He's saying yes. And he's kind of like snapping his fingers. He's doing like a hand motion, and he's bringing up the flame. He's like, yeah, let's get to it kind of energy there. So feel free to call on him. That's awesome. Okay, let's see here. Oh, yes, Lee. Okay, you had mentioned that your late husband is also really connected with Saint Germain, or he was very interested in Saint Germain. Does he have a message for you? He's saying that he just loves you and he's around you. He's showing him like you're sitting like maybe on a couch or on a chair, and he's kind of like behind you, wrapping his arms around your neck and upper body. And he's just saying he loves you very much, and he's giving you a kiss on the cheek. And he's pointing to Saint Germain, and he's saying, I'm hanging out with this guy here. He's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. He's fine. Don't worry about him. He's totally happy, healed, good. And he just loves you so much, and he visits you quite often. And so feel free to, he's saying, continue to talk to him, ask him questions, continue to just chat. He loves connecting with you, and he just wants you to feel him there because he's there a lot. So connect with him, and he just loves you very, very, very much. And whew, I'm feeling it. That's beautiful. Whew, okay. Oh, Suki was the one who asked about the sound therapy, and she said she's ordered copper and crystal singing bowls as well as tuning forks. That's awesome. So you're well on your way. That's good that you've already done this. That's awesome. I felt so strongly from him that you really needed to do that. So that's great. Mina is saying, thank you, Ashley. I needed this. Been so emotional stress this week with what's happening with unemployment benefits freeze, the pandemic, and now government chaos. I have been sending out healing energy to loved ones affected by COVID-19. Do I need to transmute the energy from others that I have helped? He's Saint Germain's first and foremost, just sending you a lot of love and light, Mina. That's a lot to take on, and it's a lot to handle, especially all at the same time. And he's just like really, he's sending you so much love because he's just so proud that you're helping as much as you can, and you're helping your friends and family who are also really struggling. And he is saying that he just wants you to maintain your energy at this time. So really monitor your energy. You don't need to necessarily transmute the other person's experience, but you can, he's saying, call in Archangel Michael. This is another tool for everyone to use. Archangel Michael is amazing. He's one of my favorites, go-to beings of all times. And he can come in and he can transmute, basically cut those cords. He's got that fiery sword. He'll just chop it up like Zorro, and he will stop any of the draining kind of the draining nature of kind of that energy work, that empath kind of leakage I feel that you may be experiencing, Mina. I feel like you're seeing your loved ones really have a hard time while you're having a hard time, and you're kind of taking some of that on from them. And you don't necessarily need to do that to be in that space with them and to support them. So just be really, Saint Germain saying, be really mindful of your own energy. Call in Archangel Michael to cut those cords. And he's also pointing to your Starseed team. I'm pretty sure you have some tall whites on your team. I'm pretty sure I channeled that for you before, but I see you surrounded by your tall white team, and they're kind of burning off and shifting off energies as well for you. So just utilize your team. Just really pay attention to how you're feeling in your body. And he's just sending you a lot of love and light. And I'm sending you a lot of love and light, Mina. I hope you're doing well. And just, I feel for you. And I'm just sending you my support, because you are experiencing a ton of stuff going on right now. But I know that you are a very strong person, and I'm just sending you lots of love, and it's going to be okay. It will be okay. Saint Germain is saying there's a lot of big things right now happening, but you won't get he's showing like you're a buoy in the sea. You're not getting kind of shuffled off. You will get to calmer waters. So, yeah, a lot of love to you. Okay, Suki is asking for a message for her son. Saint Germain is just saying, Suki, that he needs to ground. He really needs to ground, and he needs to feel in his body what is happening. He's giving me a sense that there's a lot of kind of lower vibrational frequency of like stress and worry, which it wouldn't be a shocker, but having the time to kind of give the space for himself to recognize what's going on, to get some grounding in, and to start handing off some of the some of the fears and worries that are taking place at this time is going to be best for him. And he's saying you can try and describe it as best you can. He may or may not roll with it. He may not hear it in a way that you would desire, but he's showing that it's kind of planting the seed, and you gotta just allow it to grow as it needs to for him. So yeah, I hope that you and your family is doing really well, and I'm sending you a lot of love and light too. Okay, let's see here. I have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. Wow, Crystal. Okay, this is awesome. So for Christmas, Crystal received a smoky quartz about the size of a baseball jelly. That's awesome. She was told that it had things that she needed and that it was only for her. She would like to know if she needs to do anything special to connect with it, or if just touching it or being with it is enough. Saint Germain is just smiling. He's saying that honestly, you can just hold it. You can be around it. You can look at it. The energy from that quartz is just going to make its way to you. And if you decide to be more active with it, hold it. You can hold it in your hands, or you can set it in your lap when you're maybe doing a meditation, and it's going to really help you to transmute, to ground. And he's showing me I feel like my head has just kind of opened up. Your crown chakra and I'm asking which sense. Claircognizance. Your claircognizance and your clairvoyance is going to open up with holding that. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's super cool that someone gifted that to you. It sounds beautiful. Oh, she's saying she sleeps with it under her pillow. That will definitely help you open up your crown chakra, open up your cognizance and your clairvoyance for sure. That's really cool. Okay, one final question. Mimi is asking, is the white ascension flame related to any master? I'm not getting a sense. I'm asking Saint Germain now. I'm not getting a sense that it's assigned specifically to one master. Like, some people may know it through a certain master, but it's kind of bigger than that. It's kind of bigger than only one master using it. Like, we really associate closely the violet flame to Saint Germain, but other people can see the violet flame without knowing who Saint Germain is at all, if that makes sense. So I'm not seeing any one specific ascended master being related to the white flame or the white ascension flame. I feel like it's kind of more universal, honestly, like more of source energy than anything. Yeah. Archangel Michael, when I call on it, I'm often calling on him in tandem to provide a clearing or protection, or just kind of a bodyguard type activity. And I often call in the ascension flame to, like, say, clear my office space. I'll call on him to provide protection for the space and to clear out any lower vibrational energies that I don't want near myself or my coworkers or in that space. So yeah, I often associate those two together, but that's just because that's how I work. So yeah, okay. So all right, I do see some more questions. I'm going to try and answer those in the comments, but I do have to leave you guys here. Thank you so much for your awesome questions. And thank you to Saint Germain and to Jesus and Archangel Michael, who's here too, for assisting us and helping us in this time. I feel really good right now. I'm just connecting with his energy. And I honestly just got this idea in my mind from Saint Germain to maybe I'll do a meditation where I'm channeling Saint Germain, and we call on the violet flame. So maybe I'll do a little meditation thing. My last meditation I did was with Lakshmi, and she was fantastic, and I loved it so much. And I had a great time making the meditation and putting it together and actually practicing it for several nights. I listened to it myself and I loved it so much. So I think I'm going to do that. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you all have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. And I'm sending lots of love to you guys. Bye now.